Otaku Octagon, welcome back to another beautiful episode. Today, feels like it's been a long time. But today's going to be a quick one. Again, we're wrapping up in our end season for this anime that's out right now. There's some bangers. I think I texted you last night and I was like, I mean, I know this isn't a new one, but Kaiju number 8, season 2 is peak cinema right now. I think it's probably way better than the first season. I'm completely honest with you, which I know it's set up, so it is what it is. But that one's pretty good. But today's gonna be quick, short. I do have a little review for you on something, and it's pop culture, not anime, but it was animated. But we'll get into that in a minute. So quick, like, subscribe, leave a comment, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on our future episodes. Let's hop right into it. But first, yo, David, we got a sponsor, and I'm happy to announce that the first sponsor of the channel is going to be Galactic Law and Associates. Have you ever been gaslit into thinking that those weren't the droids you were looking for? Call Galactic Law and Associates for a free consultation today. If you've ever been Jedi mind tricked or gaslit, Galactic Law and Associates will take care of you. They've taken care of us in all of our galactic matters, so we really appreciate them for sponsoring this channel. And let's get back into it.
Oh, yeah.
So let's hop into the news real quick first. So the news starting out. So JJK starts in January, and they do have a new trailer. New trailer looks insane. I mean, absolutely insane. It's of course Mappa, and you know the slave trade that they got going on. So you know they're working themselves to the end it now. I want to die now. We remember that from a few years ago.
No, it's funny. Somebody commented on that video. We made a little short to that video, like the kill me.
Oh.
Someone said this is very concerning.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah. I think every single reel I see of somebody animating something themselves and it looks good, they said, "Be careful, Mappa's gonna black bag you and throw you in the back of a truck."
Yo, chill.
You're gonna be in that Mappa sweatshop. Hey, it is what it is. At least I get peak anime. I don't know how to animate, so I'm good. I'm straight. It is what it is. Looks good. Looks great. Fantastic. Next, so the Naruto remake is finally production complete. So those 4 new episodes that they say we'll get is finally complete. So it's going to be reanimated, everything. From all the news that we've gotten so far, it doesn't look like that they're remaking 4 episodes of Naruto, like remaking 4 already made episodes of Naruto. I think these are going to be more like fillers. But you remember last time, again, don't get your hopes up, because when they said new Naruto's coming out, all they did was give us like the Sasuke, like the Minato storyline book, and then they gave us like the Sasuke like little arc that they had with him fighting a Velociraptor, which anyways,
content is content, bro.
Content is content. So in a sadder side of news, so anime retailers are going to are now stopping shipping to the United States because of new trade laws and tariffs that have been put on Japan. So those of y'all who are hobbyists and want to like export, or even like people who we get from who get straight from Japan, that get figures, manga, cards, everything like that, they are now stopped selling them or shipping them over to the US. So it's going to be ruining or a lot of business for people. The 2 main companies are Smile Company and Hobby Link are the 2 main companies that are no longer shipping to the US right now. Now this will affect Pokemon, Dragon Ball, and One Piece. So anything that's coming out of those companies in those 3 categories are going to not be coming to the US, at least for this time period right now. So for those like big distributors, sorry, I mean, import exports, you know what I'm saying? You get into the game. It's going to change the game heavy. I mean, we still got a lot of, I wouldn't call it insider trading because that's a whole different thing, but like people still in the US have like bulk stuff and we're still passing it around. But if this doesn't change, we're going to be missing, the anime stuff is going to go up in price and we're going to be missing a lot. So get ready for that. Alice in Borderland season 3 is coming out September 25th.
Yes.
So if you're a big Alice in Borderland fan, for those of y'all who don't know, it's essentially like it's a live action Korean show on Netflix. It's not Squid Games or anything like that. It's more so like there's an anime that's kind of like this, and I can't really think of the anime name, but it's
Darwin's Game. Was it Darwin's Game?
No, I'm thinking kind of a mix of like God of a Tower of God and kind kind of like Darwin, but Darwin's game was more so like the sister and brother got transported to a kingdom and they became in charge of the kingdom.
Hmm.
But this one is about pretty much people in Korea. They end up they're forced to play in these life or death games. And when you succeed in the game or you win, which is not just one winner, there can be multiple winners. You go back to your normal life. Oh, I know Gantz. Gantz is what
Okay.
I'm thinking of. Yeah, so you get transported and you have to go fight in these games. You fight like a serial killer, or you do a puzzle, you do like obstacle course that's like killer ops, whatever it is. And then when you're done, if you win or if you survive, I don't know about winning because you don't win anything literally except for your life. You go back to your normal life, and then when you get called again, you have to go and you have to do specific like game. You have to do a specific amount of games in order to be free forever. So, and they get transported. So, but season 3 coming out September 25th. Um, a 24-year-old Korean man was just arrested in Japan for recording the Demon Slayer movie. Um, hey, there always has to be a sacrifice to the pirate
They
gods,
literally
and
said that they was going to hurt heavily tax whoever does it, and then you
yeah,
turned around and did it anyway. You thought Japan was playing?
yeah. I mean, I hey, so a soldier for the cause just got. It is what it is. It's coming out in the next couple of weeks, anyways. Literally in 2 weeks here, so y'all can wait 2 more weeks. A Frieren prequel is announced. So for those of y'all who really love Frieren Beyond Journey's Edge, there is a prequel that has been announced. No name, no title, no date. Just has been announced. This one. So I'm a big conspiracy theory, right? Like conspiracy theorist, right?
Yeah.
Um, so you remember a few weeks back, we talked about how raising the One Piece flag is now considered a capital offense in Indonesia, right? It's considered a treasonous offense, capital offense. Indonesian government is now trying to stop people from raising the One Piece flag and trying to turn people pretty much against One Piece, essentially, because it's a sign of like revolution. Well, in Indonesia, a man was just arrested for murdering his wife and kids because of One Piece. And he said in the interview rooms that he wasn't living up to the standard of One Piece and that his family wasn't living up to the standard of like the Straw Hat crew or whatever it is. And so with a machete, he murdered his wife and kids. Now,
Must have been some celestial dragons. Hey,
like,
fight the power.
so you mean to tell me like a month prior, you're now trying to get people to not like One Piece, and now it's an offense. And then a random man kills his wife and kid. They paying people to kill their families over One Piece. That's all I'm saying. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm just
Hey,
I'm gonna stop sugarcoating. I'm gonna stop like sidestepping what I'm thinking
good news, bad
because
news is all
that's kind of
news.
that's kind of crazy.
We gotta promote season 2, bro,
That's kind of
by
crazy.
any means necessary.
That's kind of crazy. I mean, I've seen a dude rob somebody in a Akatsuki outfit in Japan that one time when we saw that dude in the whole. But hey, if pain tells you to do something, you do it. You know what I'm saying?
No, that reminds me. What was that one anime? I think it was called like Shinjiki or something like that. But there was a part like in the beginning of the anime where a dude walked into, remember, because it was like he had the little finger pistol and he say bang and it kills people. And he
Oh yeah,
walked
yeah.
into the house and the mom was like doing dishes and he
With
killed the
that
mom,
girl.
the dad,
Yeah.
and then the daughter
Like,
came in.
what's
He
your
was like,
favorite manga?
"Yeah, what's
Yeah.
your favorite manga? One Piece. Did you kill my family? Hey, don't worry about that. We're talking about One Piece right now.
Yeah. That was a
You
crazy
like
show.
Zoro?
That was an insane. Yeah, that was an insane show.
Hey,
Absolutely.
inspiration.
um, so anime or Crunchyroll more specifically is partnering with Delta Airlines. So now you're able to watch specific animes on Delta flights. So you've never been able to do that on Delta flights before. So if you're flying soon or flying in the future, you should be able to watch some anime on their little. You can scroll to watch whatever you want on the screen. You should be able to watch them. So
Cool.
yeah. So there is going to be a Gintama spinoff in October. So again, no title, no working title, which is weird because it's in October. It's a few months,
Mm-hmm.
but they are working on starting. The spinoff is supposed to be coming. They're keeping it really tight-lipped. I need to start Gintama. I need to watch that again. I haven't watched that in a long time.
I,
Long time.
I feel like a One Piece hater because Gintama has so many episodes and OVAs and
Yeah.
spin-offs.
Oh yeah.
That's such a hill. Like I
I mean,
haven't
that's
started either.
it's honestly it's a commitment. Just like One Piece, Bleach, Naruto. Like
Yeah.
it's a commitment. It is what it is.
It's a
I
commitment to a
mean,
gag though. That's the problem. Like Gintama's,
oh
it's
yeah,
not like a super serious anime. It's not like okay, One Piece has this whole full story. Gintama's like,
yeah,
oh, what if we just made fun of other animes? I
pretty
mean, I'm
much.
with it, but
Yeah.
that's such a hill.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Um, so last two, One Piece manga sales are close to surpassing the record holder of book slash comic sales, which is actually Superman. So Superman has the record holder of 600 million copies sold of any type of Superman, like not necessarily manga, but comic book in lifetime. One Piece right now is at 578 million.
Mm-hmm.
So they're really close, almost number one.
I mean,
New stuff is coming out right now for One Piece and for Superman. So we'll see how those numbers climb.
yeah,
Um, so it's obviously it's not 600 million even. There's going to be hundreds of thousands or
yeah,
like
yeah. Clearly.
like ones or twos here. So it is what it is. But One Piece pretty close. Happy for them. Last thing, which I find kind of funny. So they're now doing the recordings for the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie number one for the English
Oh, the dub.
dub, right? Channing Tatum is playing one of the characters in the Demon Slayer movie. He plays Kizo. He's not playing like Tanjiro or anything. He's a kid.
No, I want him to be
Right?
Tanjiro.
Right? Yeah, right. But he's playing Kizo. I don't really remember who Kizo
Muzan.
is. Yeah, Muzan. But I think I find it funny. Channing Tatum is going to be, playing one of those characters because that's a very side questy thing for Channing Tatum to do. And
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him in This Is the End, and that was you want to talk about side questy? That was something else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to talk about the scene of him in that movie, but yeah, I was like, my boy Channing. Like I get you as a Magic Mike, but
I
relax.
mean, I was surprised when I saw him in the Wolverine Deadpool movie playing Gambit, and
Oh
he
yeah, he
did a
was.
damn good job in that too.
Funny. He's like, there's gonna be a whole lot of da here, and Deadpool's like, who's your writing, who's your language coach?
I'm gonna make a name for myself.
I'm finna make a name for myself here. It's like,
Yo,
who taught you how to speak?
his voice coach
That's
is
a good
getting
game.
paid.
Yeah,
Now look
hey,
at him.
it is what it is. Is what it is. All right, so I'm gonna talk about something. I'm gonna talk about something. So it's a little late. It's already came out on streaming services, things like that, HBO, Amazon. You still kind of have to pay for it, but How to Train Your Dragon, the live action movie, came out. Now, I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it at the house, and I was pleasantly surprised on how good it was.
Hmm.
Now, there's a few things I'm going to talk about, like contrary to what it was. However, there's not much for me to talk about because the movie was almost a one for one shot of the animated movie. So, which I love, right? I love the fact that it was a one for one of the animated movie. Obviously, there's a little more conversations and speech because it was a live action movie. You can't just cut from one scene to go to like it doesn't work that way,
Hmm.
obviously in cinema. However, there were a lot of changes to this movie, like minor changes that were completely unnecessary, but again, didn't ruin the storyline. So, the first one I'm going to talk about is the most controversial one. Um, making, uh, oh my gosh, can't believe I forgot her name. Um, yeah, pause right there, and I'll restart my conversation. I literally was thinking of it. There we go. All right, 3, 2, 1, 0. So there were a lot of unnecessary changes that were made in the movie that didn't affect the storyline. That's why I said it's still a one for one shot, but were just unnecessary to make, right? And the number one, which is the most controversial one, is making Astrid black. Now, it didn't affect the storyline, so I'm okay with that, right? Because I think one of the biggest conversations that we've had in the past, not necessarily on like the podcast, but was like if it affects the storyline or the culture of the society, does it affect it? technically, yes, the culture, but the storyline, no. And she was a great actress. Just like we talked about Ariel in The Little Mermaid, right? Great actress, 100% fine. But it was an unnecessary change because it didn't do much else except for just give her that moment and add an extra scene into the movie for them to explain away why she was black. So in in the animated series, one, we all know they're all Vikings, right? They're all Nordic Vikings. There's been two recorded black Vikings in history that are actually famous that were that used to be slaves. Like this is actual like Viking mythology, or not necessarily mythology, this is just history. But there were actual two black Vikings that are like actually notoriously famous that were slaves, became Vikings through battle, saving their earl, whatever it is. But Vikings are Nordic. They're from Scandinavia, Iceland. They are white. Like let's just be honest there. Now, two, in the animated show, they essentially didn't have a specific scene where the chief of like Hiccup's dad is talking to like all the people about going to find the island of dragons. Essentially, he talks about it and then they move on. In the live action movie, there's like a bunch of different Vikings. Like it's like a what do you call it? The representation. It's like a representation table. So we talk about how like, oh, like we want like there's people, I want to be represented in all films. Da da da. I don't want. I've never been of that proclivity. If you're making a movie about Vikings or samurai or whatever it is, I don't need representation. Just make it about their culture. But in the scene in this movie, Hiccup's dad, the chief, is surrounded by a table full of different ethnicity Vikings. There's Asians, like black people, white people. I mean, there's all different colors and creeds at this table. And he essentially has this whole conversation that never happened in the movie or the animated movie about how we are all this island is descendant from other lands. So wait, how do you put it? He said, we are all descendants from other lands that came to this island and ended up forming this village,
I love
which
that.
was never explained. So what?
I love that.
Unnecessary.
Hell yeah.
Did it affect the story? No. And that's why I'm saying didn't affect the story. It affected the story in where they put an unnecessary like scene in there, but that's how they explained away essentially Astrid's different color instead of her just being a blonde-haired white Viking girl.
It
Instead
created
of
depth. It created depth in the
I don't
story.
I don't think I agree, but I don't agree in the fact that I agree it does. I don't agree it was
No,
necessary
yeah, no, I
because
agree. It's not necessary, but
you have the blueprint and they stuck to it. I'm gonna be honest with you, they stuck to the blueprint like of How to Train a Dragon. The CGI was fantastic, the fighting was fantastic. Um, but they had this whole 5 minute scene of unnecessary talking about, and he goes from person to person, by the way. He goes to the Asian girl and talks about who her people are from, the black guy who his people are from, the black girl who's her people, the Mexican. Like it's like da da da. And I'm like, okay, we get it. That's why Astrid's black because you're all different people. Congratulations, right? But Hiccup talks about we're Vikings. We stem from Viking people. Like that's what it was. But he's saying, no, this island is everybody who's from different lands who have come together to form this village. I was like, well, then you're not Vikings. Like Viking is
you're not Vikings.
technically a way of life, but it's derived from that specific culture. So like people these days could be like, "Oh, I'm a black Viking or I'm a whatever it is," and that's fine. You can have that way of life, but it comes from that specific culture. And he's like, "No." Hiccup's like, "No, we descended from these Vikings. We are Viking people." And da 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 da. Now,
Vikings.
the argument I want to get out of the way because I had this with other people. I had this same conversation. So um the argument people are having that had with Ariel, and it said, well, mermaids aren't real anyways, so what's the point, what's the matter of her being black? Some people have tried to say that about How to Train Your Dragon, and I'm like, sure, the dragons aren't real if you believe that, but Vikings were. So like the Vikings were actually real, so you can't bring the same argument from Little Mermaid to How to Train Your Dragon. Yes, the dragons part isn't real, but the Vikings were very real. However, it was an unnecessary change, but it didn't affect my watch of the movie. I was just like, okay, well, they made her black. Cool. I'm still going to watch it. I love How to Train Your Dragon. And then they added that scene of him going from person to person, talking about, you come from China, you come from Africa, we're many people of different races and creeds. I'm like, I get it, bro. I get it. Okay. Like, let's stop.
Well, who's to say
What is it?
that's
Wait,
fake then, or that's wrong? It's possible. Why not?
it is 100%. It would be 100% in the realm of possibility that in a Viking culture that these people like a berserker went and started his own island and people from different places came together or whatever. Never heard of in history, but
Hey,
it was unnecessary because there's a blueprint is what I'm saying.
I feel you.
There's
I feel
already
you.
a blueprint of a movie. You have now, if you were making its own standalone, if How to Train Your Dragon was never an animated film, never heard of it, it was just this live action, sure, whatever, doesn't matter, right? People would still complain and bitch, and that's fine, but they have a blueprint. And the only reason why it bothers me just a bit is because they had a blueprint and they actually stuck to it like the entire time from scene to scene. There was no extra nonsense except for that one part where he had to sit there for 5 to 10 minutes and explain why we're all different people and we all matter and we're all like great. And I'm like, I don't care. I really don't. Go fight some dragons. Like, go, like do what you're supposed to be doing, you know? However, the movie was fantastic. Astrid's character, she's a great actress, but they made her a little more rude than the original Astrid and a little more like they made her like sassy, like really sassy.
That's
It was weird.
the original Asher was sassy.
She was, but they gave her like extraness in this because even my wife, who's like a big like Pixar, DreamWorks, and like Disney fan, she was like, "Does Astrid seem like more like just meaner?" And I'm like, "Yeah, she seems like really a lot meaner than she
She
was in
was a
the animated
bully
movie."
in the anime movie.
We watched the animated one before we watched to see how it compared.
Uh huh.
And Astrid in the first one, in the beginning, 100% was just like I'm the best. I'm gonna be rude, but they made her just like meaner. She's like a lot meaner than the original Astrid.
Maybe I
That's not
just
to
gotta
say
see
she's
it.
not.
I gotta see it.
That's not to say that the original Astrid wasn't mean. I'm just saying that they made her meaner. Like she just had more sass and more mean to her and stuff like that. And like they did do and I love the parts where she's like she would hit him and then she'd be like that's for this and then she'd like kiss him and be like well that's for this. Like that's exactly one for one of what Astrid did. And like I said, they really stuck to frame by frame what the animated movie was, and I really loved the live action movie. It was just the unnecessary changes that were unnecessary at the end of the day. Where I'm just like, what, like, why did we need to though? Like, why did we need to do that? Is my question. Not that I'm hating on it because it is what it is. If you ask me, would you rather have the original Astrid? Absolutely. I'd rather every single movie be exactly what it was if it was animated before. However, it didn't bother me to where I couldn't enjoy the movie. I 100% enjoyed it. There's people out there that be like, I'm not watching this because they made Astrid Black. Like, well, fuck, I don't care. I don't care. But I'm gonna have an opinion. Like, hey, I still would have wished like Ariel. I wish she was originally a white girl with red hair. Like it is what it is. If we're watching a Princess and the Frog, live action, I don't want her man's to be a ginger. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want her mans to be black. I want Tiana to be black. I want Dr. Facilier to be black. I don't want him to be like a Mexican or Asian. Like, I don't want that. I want it to be a one for one of what it used to be. And that's all I'm asking for. However, like, taking away the unnecessary changes, the tiny unnecessary change, this movie was easily like a 9 out of 10. Like, because it was a one for one. CGI was great. Even the final battle with that giant dragon in the first movie, like that was actually scary. Like it looks like some Game of Thrones type shit. Like it was insane. Fire and brimstone, all that stuff. The Hiccup, the actor who played Hiccup, perfect Hiccup. I mean, when I don't think you could have found a better. Even when he started out talking in the beginning of the movie, like it sounded just like when Hiccup started talking in the animated one. I was like, wait, did they get the actual like actor? I was like, well, they couldn't have because he doesn't look anything like Hiccup in real life. Well, he kind of does, but he's a lot taller and not as scrawny anymore. But yeah, this movie was easily a 9 out of 10. Um, except for those. And honestly, I'd have gave it a 10 because I love How to Train a Dragon. Those are some of my favorite DreamWorks movies, and like I'd have easily given it a 10 out of 10 if we didn't sit there and just like I would have honestly preferred Astrid to be black without that scene. like take away that scene of explaining why everybody is equal and everybody is supposed to be like in their own way just great, and keep Astra Black. I'm okay with that. Like it's just that one scene where we had to just explain shit, and I'm just like, I get it. I get it. We're pandering. I get it. Let's move on.
If you
Like let's
take out
move
that
on.
scene, though, then people are going to complain that she's black with no explanation.
I think they complain. They're gonna complain anyways. They're
Exactly.
going to complain anyways,
It's better.
because
Then I
here's
think
how
the
you
scene
do
is
it.
better
here's
to have
here's how
then.
you do that though. Here's how you do that though is there's already scenes in the movie where you see a bunch of different people walking around. You see black people, Asian people, Hispanic people, different types and like different races and creeds of people already walking around, which you don't see in the animated movie. That's explanation enough to me that this is just a village full of different people. That's why Astrid is different.
No, it's
Like,
not.
because
It's not explanation
yes, it
enough at
is.
all. They're going to say they're still going to be
Yes, it
like,
is.
wait, why is there black people
Well,
walking around? Why are there
that's
Asians walking around?
that's their problem though. This is my opinion.
Yeah,
Like sitting
yeah.
there for 5 minutes, sitting there for 5 to 10 minutes, and going from person to person. Why this Asian person's here? Why this black person's here? It's preachy, and I get it. I already understand. I've already watched them like 20 minutes into this movie and saw that there are multiple different races of people. Now, okay, keep barely that scene and just be like, we're all people from different lands, and then move on. But when I say he stopped and went from person to person and talked about their lineage, their race, their where they came from, who they are, why they're strong, why we're all one people together, I'm just like, I don't care. I
So
don't care.
they beat a dead horse. Is basically your biggest takeaway. Is they
Yeah,
beat a dead horse on that scene.
yeah, like I get it. You can sit there because there is a scene in the animated movie where he does sit at his round table and talk about going to the island, right, to find the nest, right? But then sit there and say, "Hey, we're all different people from different lands. We got this, gang," and then just move on. Like that's enough. That's enough explanation. But
Okay.
to sit there and like, I was just like, okay, yeah, next. All right, next person. Yep, next person. Oh, okay. Oh, we're going. Oh, more. Okay, cool. Oh, another one.
That scene
Interesting.
could have definitely made some child somewhere feel special. You
Good for
can't.
them. I
You
don't
can't.
care. Because
So
you
it
know
wasn't
what?
for
The
you
original
then.
animated movie makes children feel special too,
No,
and
it
they didn't have
don't.
none of that.
Where it makes somebody feel special.
Because it's a movie about people fighting dragons. Because children, unless they're adopting this information from their parents or from anybody, can watch any movie and feel special because or think it's cool. Like it doesn't matter. When I was a kid and I watched How to Train Your Dragon, I felt like this was awesome.
Yeah,
Like and I like this is awesome, but I don't need
but
representation in a
not
movie.
special.
I don't need to be represented in a movie.
Sir, you didn't grow
Like
up in the generation of participational rewards. Everyone
yeah,
wants to feel special. That's
so you're
not
telling me
you.
that's the problem. Again,
It's,
that's
hey,
that's the
I mean,
problem.
that might be your problem with it, but hey, not everybody feel that way. Some people want to feel
That's
represented and special, and they want their part. Like, oh, look, there's a little Asian guy in there. I'm Asian too. We can also train dragons.
which teaches people that um that history doesn't matter.
History doesn't matter. That's a clear thing. History
So
doesn't matter
and
anymore.
that there aren't certain people in certain lands that don't look like you. Everybody has to look like you everywhere,
Everywhere.
which makes no sense.
Hey,
It makes
in
zero
about a
sense.
hundred years, that's going to be the case anyway. So,
I would
might
break
as well
that little
get
kid's
a.
heart when I tell him that actual Vikings had black people and Asian people as slaves, but whatever.
And they eventually got promoted to be kind of a Viking.
Two of them, two black people in the
Known
2,000 years of
two
Viking.
known black people in the 2,000 years of Vikings. You think that was the only scenarios?
The way their culture out, sir, I don't think you understand how Viking religion and culture
I
is.
don't think
That's a
anybody on this
very
call
rare thing.
truly
Very
understands
rare.
Viking culture.
Very. I mean, if you studied it, if you're studied on it,
You studying dead
100%.
people? Nah, brother.
Yeah,
Ain't nobody on this
100%.
call well
I've
versed
studied
in Viking.
Roman mythology,
Hey,
Norse
I
mythology, Greek
believe you. I
mythology,
believe you. But at the end of the
but
day,
like just like
people make
samurai movies, for
decisions.
example. Yasuke was a legit person,
Hmm.
right? Was a legit black samurai who was famous.
Do you believe he was the
Very rare.
only black samurai though?
No, absolutely not. But the
That's
reason,
that's the point.
so here's the thing though. The reason why it was the most rarest thing ever and why it was recorded is because of who was the one that made him a samurai. The one who made him a samurai was Oda Nobunaga. Oda Nobunaga was recorded as the first shogun to bring in modern warfare to Japanese battles. He
Mm.
was the one that was known for his trickery, bringing guns to fights, adopting Western civilization in order to win his battles, which he did. He won most of his battles because of how he adopted modern westernization. That's why his mind and heart was already softened to make Yasuke. But traditional Japanese shoguns and shogunate were not going to do that. They're
Yeah,
not
of
going to
course.
adopt any outsider into their group. Like, but Oda Nobunaga did because he was like the end of the Edo period where samurais were kind of going away, and like modern warfare was starting when the Portuguese came, and like the like Catholics and Protestants started invading their lands and shit like that. Like that was uh climax of the samurai. And essentially everything was downhill from there. So very rare. That's why he was recorded. Just like Viking culture. That's why it was recorded because it was so rare that nobody expected that to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But suffice to say, movie was excellent. Movie was 100. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a movie that was so one for one out of a animated to live action. Like I don't think I've ever seen a movie that was so well adapted into live action that than How to Train Your Dragon. And I know they already are making number two, and I can't wait. I can't wait. I think it's gonna be great. So, um, but I know if you haven't seen it, you gotta see it. I think it's on Amazon. Might be on, I think I paid for it. I think I paid like $10 to rent it or something.
Oh yeah, no,
But
we ain't doing that. But
but
no, sounds like a sounds like a great concept though.
yeah, I mean,
As
hey,
soon as they drop it on Max for free, I'm all over it. And
yeah,
I'll give up my follow up review.
you get hey give it. Like I said, great movie. Just on some one thing was unnecessary, and that's it. Just one thing.
Can't be mad at
I'm okay. I'm okay with her being how she is. Whatever. It's just that that scene was just sitting there, just like I think I got up to go to the bathroom during it. I'll be honest. I'm
it.
like, all right, this is long.
Oh,
All
so
right,
you didn't even finish it? Oh, so you missed the biggest takeaway.
yeah. Biggest takeaway. I think that's when they got to the Asian lady, right? That was the biggest. That was the biggest one. Where you're from the Zhao dynasty. Your people came here looking for new life and new like.
Is
Shut
that
the fuck
is
up.
that what they said?
Something like that. I can't remember word for word
That makes
because it wasn't in the
sense.
movie.
That makes sense.
Like it again, it made sense to why Astrid is the way she is. I'm
Mm,
not arguing that. I'm just arguing of how unnecessary that entire fucking interaction was.
I feel
Like
you.
it makes sense. That's they're literally explaining and without explaining why Astrid's black. That's why they're doing it. I know that's why they added that scene. However, unnecessary. Just unnecessary. We would have canceled this conversation out if we just made all the casting characters exactly like an anime movie. But
I'm with you.
that's not gonna happen anymore these days. So I mean they're already talking about putting a black chick as Rapunzel. So we'll see how that goes.
I thought they canceling all those live action Disney movies.
No, so they're canceling the sequels. So the or not Rapunzel, the Maleficent 2. It's in my notebook because we talked about
No,
it
no, no.
a
I
while
remember.
ago.
I remember. I thought they were going
But
to cancel all of them though. I thought they learned their
mm-mm.
lesson.
They're still gonna do the few that they have on the docket, like Rapunzel and some other one. I forgot, like a couple, like two others. But the sequels to movies, they're not doing anymore.
Okay,
They're
please,
canceling all the sequels.
please don't make Rapunzel black.
They 100% have her casted, but however, there's fight right now because they also have another girl who's looks like Rapunzel, and there's a whole like battle going on right now because she was technically like the black chick was technically already casted, and they stripped it from her, and I think there's like a lawsuit or something going on. I don't know exactly what's going on, but if they do
Yeah,
that, we're cooked. I'm
yeah.
gonna I'm gonna have to deal with my wife because of you, Disney, because that's her literal favorite Disney movie, and if you do that, like we're cooked. My household's gonna be cooked for like a week.
See,
So
we're not even arguing the same point. I don't want them to make it black for a completely different reason why you don't want them to make it black. I just don't want to hear.
why?
I just don't want to hear.
Let down your weave.
I don't want to hear any of it. I don't need to hear any of it. Like if they could make her black and it can just be a good movie and people like the movie, then I would be so happy. But I know that's never going to be the case. So please don't make her black.
It shouldn't be.
Just
Because
give these folks what they want.
they'll give her long ass dreads, right? You know they're gonna give her dreads.
I don't know what they're
Because,
gonna give her.
anyways, moving on. That was it. That was it. Movie great. 9 out of 10. Recommend. 100% recommend. Just skip past like 5 to 10 minutes in the middle of it. You'll be fine. So 100% recommend. We appreciate it, guys. We're gonna be coming out with another episode here in a minute. Obviously we got some One Piece news, some other things coming down the pipeline. End of season is coming up on us in a few weeks, so be sure to look out for that one. Again, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And we love you. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
They're gonna give her. But see, just that assumption is another reason why I don't want them to make her black. Why they gotta give her dreads? Why can't she just have long flowing hair? Like, see,
because they did that. Because again, they did that to Ariel. Ariel had long, straight red hair when they gave whatever her name is, Halle Berry, whatever her name is.
Mm-hmm.
When they gave her the role, her hair was all in twists. It was red twists. And then when she got on land, it was twists. It wasn't long and straight like regular Ariel. So going off of what I've seen in the past, they're going to do the exact same thing if they make Rapunzel black.
I mean, that makes sense.
I don't think they should.
She was underwater.
I mean, I guess.
I mean, black folks, their hair get wet. It's gonna shrinkage. It's gonna poof up. Like, that makes sense.
Which is why
like,
she
got it. She should have got her hair twisted. That makes sense. Like, all black mermaids, it is canonical that they all have twists.
I mean, I just didn't think black people would swim in the first place. So I was crazy.
Mermaid blackfish can swim. Let them swim.
Blackfish.
They can swim.
Blackfish.
Yeah, blackfish can swim.
The only blackfish I know are like the blackened tuna that I've seen down the.
I'm done with you. Move on.
Anyways, moving on. That was it. Movie great. 9 out of 10. Recommend.